Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have returned to Wortham Park. It's a little 9-hole course out here in the northwest suburbs of Cypress, Texas, just outside of Houston. And I'm gonna play basically a casual round. I've basically taken a break for like 5 days in a row, just relaxing, recovering, resting, just getting into a better mental attitude. I'm just gonna play 9 holes of disc golf, but as well as doing that, I'm just gonna talk about some things that I've been dealing with recently. Okay, we've stepped up to the tee pad of hole 1. It's maybe 4.5 feet long by 2.5, 3 feet wide. And the basket's 245 feet away. I've got a little bit of a tailwind, so I'm gonna have to put a little something on it. Got this little Hawkeye. We're gonna see if I can get this out there. I did, but that came out a stable boy. Let's see if I can adjust. Let's try my TL. I'm gonna try to put a little bit more ante on it. Nah, didn't do that good at all. Let's go see what I've got. The good news is my first throw got this far. The bad news is I've got a little bit of an obstacle to putt through. I'm not gonna lie, this feels a little bit like a putting league type of putt. So let's see if I can get something close. Yes, sir. Well, that was a good recovery putt. I'll take a 3 on this hole anytime, even though I could easily birdie it if I got a throw off correctly. Next up, the basket is 265 away from the edge of this tee pad. I've got my Dynasty. I'm just going to throw it in that direction. That's a really good rip. I want to talk a little bit about the video that I just published just before this one, where I did a review of a Clash disc called the Salt, and it was, or is, a new disc with dual plastic technology called Tone, and I thought that was very interesting. So when they offered to send it to me, I told them, yeah, I'd check it out, and they basically said, hey, there's no strings attached, hey, just, try it out, let us know what you think. You're welcome to make a video on it. That's basically it. No commitments, no strings, and they even spelled out there are no obligations with this offer. I thought, hey, that's great, because I don't make promises on what I'm going to do for my reviews. Anyways, so I was supposed to make basically a fun little video. Sean and I were going to go over to Northside Church, get there before a tournament, and talk with a few people, ask them if they'd want to throw the disc. I'm 25 feet out, and this is probably the best throw I've ever made on this hole. So anyways, I was supposed to, get a few people, throw a few discs, try to have a little bit of fun. Not a big deal, just a fun little video where I would pick the best flights out of, the assortment offered, and see if I could put together a decent set of lines thrown by that disc. Okay, 250 feet to the basket. Anyways, so Sean and I are going to show up. We're going to throw it a few times, see if we can get some good angles, but give representation from the point of view of like a novice disc golfer, a recreational disc golfer. Then we're going to have a bunch of badasses show up and throw some discs. That disc. That's a bit stable for that kind of throw. There was actually a headwind until I decided to turn the camera on. All right, here's the disc here. We are 35 feet away per Bushnell. All right, let's see if I can get this in the basket. Looks like I can. Where was that on the previous hole? But what I didn't realize, the problem we'd run into, there were two technical problems I had to deal with. Number one was the wind. We knew it was going to be a little bit windy, but we apparently arrived and recorded at the windiest part of the day. Like if you ever look at a weather app and you select the wind, and you see when the highest point of the day was at, that's when we were filming. So we had an unusually windy day, and we showed up at the windiest time. And yeah, that made it more challenging. So everyone that threw a disc, they had to adjust for the wind, and not always successfully. But after Sean and I threw, we knew, hey, we're dealing with a flippy disc, It's not flippy enough to help Sean and I out, but you know, maybe these higher skilled players with bigger arms can do that. So they basically tried adapting to the headwind, and they still had a lot of good throws out of it, but you know, it's different people throwing discs differently, and that's just how it is. The T-pad says 310 feet, but it's 342 from the edge of it to the basket. So yet again, I'm going to throw this overstable Dynasty. But the thing to keep in mind is the other technical problem we had to deal with, and this is one I'm fully aware of, is this camera has a narrow field of view option, and it's the most narrow I can make this camera. If you've ever seen a fisheye effect on a GoPro, well, you can fix that in the GoPro for the most part, and I set it to it's the least fisheye view as possible. And oh, the wind is down. I'm gonna throw. Hey, I got through the trees. I'm on the other side. 138 per Bushnell. Gonna try this Rhino. Just want to get it kind of close. Oh, the headwind's picking up. Kind of feel like I juiced it, but it's right behind the basket. Guess I don't have any room to complain. But I am fully aware of this issue, and that's why I'm setting the GoPro to its most narrow field of view. I'm running it now in 4K, and I'm trying to use pan and zoom when possible. Also, I've been researching cameras to buy, but every one of them are well over $1,000 for high quality 4K 60 producing cameras. So long story short is I'm aware of these issues and I'm working on it, but the two factors of wind and the narrow field of view really kind of mess things up from a video production standpoint. I thought this landed behind it, but I guess it landed in front of it. That's weird. Okay, so U-disc and Bushnell agree that's 286 feet away. I just got out this, I just bought this brand new Proto Star Glow Valkyrie. This is by Team Champion stamp with Emerson Keith. I needed to replace the previous Valkyrie, so I'm going to try this. This is literally my first throw of this. He's out there. So when I got to the house and I edited the video, not a big deal. I had like 30 plus throws to edit, and I got down to about 19 of the ones that I wanted to use, you know, for the purposes of the video. And I felt like I had different skill levels. I had a good number of flight paths. I had headwind, I had tailwind, even had a good crosswind throw. And I was fairly happy with the results. I did try using the pan and zoom feature, but unfortunately the disc on most of the shots disappeared off in the sky because it was really light color. So that was kind of disappointing. So I just left it alone, you know, edited the rest of the video, and pretty much was happy with the product, even though it wasn't my best in terms of effort, in terms of shooting. But at the time, I really thought I had enough good throws when I was making that video. Okay, 68 feet to the basket, so I'm gonna have to clutch up on this. I'm not really trying to put it in the basket. I just need it close enough. The thing I need to watch out for are these branches up here, and there's a high chance if I go too high, I'll clip it. So all I want to do is kind of focus on that. I also have considered a touch forehand or touch backhand, but I need to work on my forehand up shots. All right, a little bit of a throw punch kind of action there. Not something I'm terribly good at. You know, it's not really often that I play this course this well, so I'm actually very pleased with my performance. I can usually get, you know, one over, so, but I don't think I've been under this early before. Wow, this basket is way off in the distance, and I'm throwing into a headwind, so this is going to be really rough. The basket is 378 feet away per bushy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw with this Valkyrie. Even though I'm throwing into a headwind, it's still a load of a beefy boy, it seems, in the one throw that I've thrown it at. One of the reasons I like the Valkyrie is it's the most aerodynamic 9-speed, or even one of the most aerodynamic drivers that Innova has. But it should allow me to cut the air, provided that I don't throw it up too high. There we go. Definitely some beef on that. The basket is just past that tree a long ways. Hopefully I'll put a basket indicator out there for you. So anyways, not a big deal. I made the video that I made. It wasn't perfect, but it was decent, and I learned some lessons from it in terms of, you know, getting maybe less people to throw the disc, obviously play, you know, throw it not in that kind of headwind, and try to have the shots be a little more controlled in that the disc is being thrown against a backdrop that doesn't make the disc disappear into the sky. So not a big deal, but the interesting thing is, you know, I posted it like every once in a while. I'll post an interesting disc golf review of mine on the disc golf subreddit, and I got some really interesting and kind of bizarre reactions to it. Okay, we are 150 feet away from the basket. I had to move the camera out over there a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to break out my R-Pro Pig and just see if I can get it close. And we'll just go from there. I juiced it. That's going to be a really long putt. Okay, well, to be fair, this is, I think, the longest hole on the course, and I had expectations of maybe 3 or 4 on this hole. But anyways, you know, I got basically some expected responses, such as, you know, like one person was saying the disc, you know, was hard to see, couldn't see it after it, you know, went very far or whatever. I don't remember what he said exactly, but I understood is because the disc vanished into the sky, and you know, I'll be making corrections on that. But one of the users went by Matt something, I don't know. He basically, oh, I'm way over here, really ripped into me like, what the hell are you doing, basically? And it was just really weird. Okay, 26 feet per Bushnell. And I'm gonna try to make this, so bear with me. That came out of my hand really weird. Phrasing, but yeah, it was a little weird. You know, it almost sounded like he took the fact that I made that video personally. So, you know, I kind of brushed off my shoulder, but I explained to him, hey, you know, here's my rationale of what I did and why I did it. And then he went off on me again. It was like, okay, this is really weird. Anyways, you can see here's the farthest part of the course, and now we're gonna head back towards the rest of it. Okay, 320 feet per Bushnell. I'm actually gonna throw the slightly unstable Sphinx with its high glide, and hopefully it'll take advantage of you know, the wind behind me. So it's nice and slow. Love it. And I missed the tree. That's perfect. Good progress for me. So I was reading his username and I was like, Matt, do I know this guy? You know, whatever his name was, I don't remember, but I just remember like maybe I'd replied to him before. So I looked at his profile and I saw he had like 8, 9, 10 posts, and all of them were on me and previous posts that I made. So in other words, maybe 2 months ago, I uploaded a video, posted on Reddit, and then this guy rips me a new one on that video. And then the previous video that I made and uploaded maybe, you know, a month before that, here he is ripping me a new one. And it got to where it was like really creepy. 100% of this guy's few posts were directed at me. And one of them was on some completely unrelated thread. And he just called me out by name and said, oh, I feel so much better after watching his videos, you know, because he sucks or whatever. I was like, that is weird. Okay, I'm 80 feet to the basket per Bushnell. I'm not even gonna set a marker down. Just want to get it close. Oh yeah, that's actually closer than I expected to get. I'll take it. So anyways, not a big deal. I mean, you get weird people on the internet all the time. So I just blocked them, moved on. And then someone else, you know, replied. He was ripping into me for the explanation I was giving to that guy before I realized he was some weird stalker guy. And then I had to reply to that guy and let him know, hey, I just replying to this, you know, this creep who's whatever, and not a big deal. So I don't know, just kind of a weird exchange. Well, I wake up, I think next morning, or maybe it was later that evening, he texted me. I gotta move. I'm just gonna wait here for the couple behind me to chain out there. But anyways, it was just really kind of weird. He created a new account, a second account. Apparently this is the first account he created to specifically reply to me whenever I made videos or whatever. So I had this second user account, like Matt, whatever his name was, you know, it's a pseudonym, it's not his real name, Matt whatever is back. And he just kept ripping into me, and I was like, how many accounts are you doing this with or whatever? And then I blocked him. And then I noticed one of the mods had deleted his post. So, and I of course mentioned to the mods, hey, I got this guy, he's created a couple accounts to specifically target me, and left it at that. But that was kind of weird, but that's not the only thing I've had to deal with recently. All right, still waiting on them to finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw. This is 188 out. I'm just gonna somewhat lightly throw this rock 3. Ooh, I think I've got a really close putt. All right, while they're waiting for them to play through on this one. So yeah, I received a message on Instagram a month ago. Some guy said, hey, I found your disc. And he sent me a picture. I took a look at it. And the picture, which I'll show you right here, was just like an $8 Whammo Frisbee. But look at the detail this guy put on this disc. Someone wrote on that disc my PDGA number, all my social medias with disc golf. You know, hey, here's a $40 reward. Really weird. So I had a guy reach out to me and told him I have no idea what the deal is with this, and he kind of laughed about it. No big deal. Didn't think about it again. And then last night I got a message from someone on Instagram, someone completely different. He basically had a picture, looked at the picture on Instagram on my phone, and sure enough, it was that same disc, a little bit beaten up, but you know, all the same stuff. You know, hey, be sure to message me on YouTube or Instagram and I'll pay you $40 or whatever. Really weird. And so I just told him, hey, you can go ahead and destroy it. We laughed about it. We actually talked about a bunch of other things about local courses and stuff like that. That was kind of weird, but these, I mean, this wasn't like local. This was like hundreds of miles away. Like the second person was in Dallas. The first person I think was further north than that. But it was really weird to see someone go through that effort to buy a disposable disc, get a big ass Sharpie, write a lot of details on it about me, and then put it on a course and have people reach out to me. Really weird. But I'm pretty sure that the people who reach out to me, you know, they're totally different, unique people. They are who they say they are, and I don't think they're involved with whatever was going on there. But the other thing that interests me, I'll tell you on the way to the next tee pad. About a year ago, I noticed someone had created a spoof account of my Instagram account, and it was like the same name and everything, different handle of course, but they made it on Instagram and were basically trying to honeypot people, or I don't know what you call it. Basically, they were trying to get people to sign up with them instead of me, and I don't know what kind of scam he was going to bring up, but I reported that account. I reported that account to Instagram, but I mean, Instagram didn't do anything about it. And me and that spoofed account, he started messaging me and we were talking. He was sending me some weird texts. So anyways, 207, I can't remember if I said that. Got my Manta. I'm just going to try to throw a relatively light throw. This will be a bonus birdie for me. I don't always birdie this. There we go. That's actually pretty good. I think it went right over the basket. That's insane. But another thing I did when I was dealing with that Instagram account, I was reaching out to all of his followers, letting them know, hey, this guy's a spoof account. Here's my account. Just giving you a heads up. Don't click on any links that he sends you. Don't, you know, whatever. Just be wary. And so I got a lot of those people to leave his account and come to my account. And then eventually that account disappeared. Maybe he named it, renamed it. He renamed it a couple times throughout that whole experience, and I guess maybe he renamed it again or deleted it, but I never heard from him again. But it's kind of weird as a disc golf YouTuber, especially with such a low follower count. You know, I'm not a Bonanza, Turner, Broderick kind of guy. I'm not Foundation. I'm just some guy in Houston that likes to throw discs, put it out on the internet for you guys to see. And it's just been really kind of a weird experience, but this week has been kind of crazy, but I wanted to kind of relate to you what the deal is there. So, and unfortunately I went a little bit long here. I need to focus up here. This is 21 feet per bush now. So let's see if I can get this basket. Whatever. That was so weird. I'm trying to do this, but my arm did that. That is so weird. That's the one thing about disc golf in particular, not just all sports, but in disc golf, it's really worse than any sport I've experienced, is this weird thing where like my body does weird stuff. I've never experienced anything like that before. So I'll take an easy par. and I'll work on putting somehow, although I don't know how to stop the random stuff from happening. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. I didn't realize I'd make this video so long, or that I'd vent so much. But yeah, just let you guys know, weird stuff kind of going on. But I'm dealing with it. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, you know. This is a hobby of mine. I've got a career. This is what I do on the weekends typically. Days off, stuff like that. And so I'm just going to keep doing it. I hope you guys like this little video. I will say Wortham Trail, I absolutely love this course. When they mow it, the only real challenge is the wind, but it's such a fun course to play. It's great beginner level disc golf, rec level disc golf. I don't even know what I scored. Probably 1 or 2 under, I don't know. But anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Thank y'all so much, you know, for watching. I really do appreciate the support that I've got. I've got a lot of support, not just on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, the socials, but in person. I've met so many fantastic people that, and just to be honest, I think enriched my life for knowing them. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for some crazy rando on the internet that has some weird obsession or fetish with me. I mean, that person needs mental help, but the rest of us are going to keep going on. That's going to do it. Thank y'all very much for watching, and have a great day.